actually starting the TOT in a very practical way. We will do a little practical work and then we will properly start, yeah, and introduce what we're doing. So the first practical activity, you've been divided into 3 groups. Yeah, the participants are coming in 20 minutes, yeah? Including the representatives who are doing the opening ceremony, you know, Secretary General, all those ones, yeah? So you have 3 tasks to do. You have to organize the tables and chairs and maybe a small projector table. What do you think? Do you think it's set up okay for a training course? Good. Yeah, good by one people. Yeah, it's set up well. Yeah. So you found tablecloths even. You've got chairs. You have a mixture of not too busy, not too many chairs around the table. Yeah. So don't crowd them. If people don't see, you might have to move them forward. Yeah. Depends. We said the flip charts were fine, the pens. I was just going to say the visuals. I know last week we were building them slowly. Yeah. So during the E-EAFM course, we only put them up after or just before each session. Yeah. Now we said please put them all up. But if you do put them up, do you think they need to be in a special sequence? Yes? So are they in a special sequence? So you may want to rethink that. Because if I am a participant, I am a new participant coming now on the learning. You have to make things as easy as possible for the participants. So if I teach a course, forcing the learning all the time. Okay? So display group, have a think afterwards, and maybe you want to rearrange. Come over here. Come over here. What is this? A shop? The shop. Okay, yeah. It was at the same place. Similar. Or you had bags actually. Why is it not in the box?
To make it easy to be used.
To make it easy for who? Yeah, for both. For the trainer primarily, but also for the participants. Because I'm asking, we're asking you to come here and get. So what happens by the end of the day? Yeah, it's a big mess. It's a big mess. Okay, so whose responsibility is it to tidy up things along the way? So you need to have things available. Okay? Yeah, any comments? Any suggestions or questions? Yeah.
Okay. So our course code for now, before yes,
Share your knowledge.
sharing of knowledge. Do you agree?
To be a picture, right?
Is it Ada partisipan, oke. Zero.
Good looking, attractive. How about skill? Example of skill. Skill. It's a skill. Listen. Good listener. Skill.
Resourceful.
Knowledge.
Yeah, resourceful.
And which ones are more skills?
Skills, yeah. It's okay.
Divide them up.
If you don't think you can put, if you don't can't put them anywhere, you can put it in the middle.
I mean, it's a bit difficult, the definition, isn't it? Because you can learn to be,
Smart, what you can get slowly.
Control emotion บอกใครหรือเปล่า
Control emotion
ก็ไม่ลงเหรอจ๊ะน้องกุ้ง
ไม่ใช่
Gentle woman or
gentleman or gentlewoman
Those of you at the front, can you kneel so everyone
yes, so everyone can see. You have to be enthusiastic. What is this?
control
Emotion.
yeah.
You have to control your emotions and not get carried away. That could be for a short time sometimes. So the skill. Let's look at the skill. What do we have in the skill? You have to have practice. Yeah. You have theory and practice. You have to have that experience. Yes.
knowledgeable
Knowledgeable. Yes. You have to be knowledgeable. You have to speak clearly.
That's really important. What can you do to know your audience? So this afternoon we said you were preparing your room. Yeah, you know you have 25 people coming. You are running E-EAFM this week. How can you know your audience before they walk in this room? What will you do?
research
What kind of research?
from
From your admin, yeah. But you can ask. Yeah, you can ask because sometimes the administration will make a list only of names, and so sometimes you say, actually, I want to know what department they work for. Yeah, and sometimes if the name is a totally different name from it makes a difference. It makes a difference also. Yeah.
Men, women must be clear. Application.
Yeah.
You can make an application.
You can make application forms. Yeah. You can do a needs analysis. Yeah. Yeah.
training need assessment
Yeah.
Yeah.
A needs analysis. Yeah. 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 Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so as much research as possible that you can do first, still you need to be thinking in advance. What possible groupings? What are the linkages between people? Do they know each other? Do they know each other? Maybe they all work in the same department, they already know each other. So then the way we train the course will be different from a group of people who have never met each other. Yeah? And you need to achieve the objective. Usually the objective is that the participants have learned a skill. Yeah? So you need to check that you have done that, otherwise you haven't done your job. Yeah? Yeah? Okay.
In the table, for example, Penchan will be working on P-Boy. Yeah, he will be working on P-Boy. Then later, this group will be working in a groups. Then after discussing all the expectation, they come up with a decision from the table, and they will be putting here their expectation using the yellow card.
Yellow card.
any expectation
As many as you have.
When you work individually,
Yeah.
then after working individually, you can share with your peer. So what
ที่เป็นออเดียนนะมีปฏิกิริยาตอบโต้
มันเป็นบุคลิกไงนะ
เฮ้ยนั่งพับ
ปกติที่เราชมเราก็
expect ร้องคลี
Yeah. So I have to clear with my instruction. First, we will be doing. I will be speaking more slowly. How many you want? You can write it. Then after writing it in the cello post-it, you will be doing it in table. Okay? Thank you.
ใช่
Brave.
brave
Brave.
to be brave
To be a brave. Yeah, be a brave.
for
To the audience.
to stand confident
เหมือนกันเลย
Can
อาจจะมีเทคนิคหลายๆอย่าง
ไปวอร์บีเบเตอร์แล้วกันบีเบเตอร์เนี่ยตอนนี้เรา
skill
น้ำมา
training skill
เขาตั้งยำเลยนะ
training skill
pada saya pula
teknik
ini
juga.
apply. Bila maksudnya
Teknik.
kita dah belajar teori, sekarang kita cuba
techniques for
เราก็ต้องรู้ก่อนว่าเราจะเป็นใครรูปแบบการ
อย่างเด็กไทยอะที่เวลาเราให้เราทำอะไร
And you can discuss it in pairs and you can discuss in a group. Then you can post your work there. That is the group work. Yeah. But you can post your name, you can write, and you can post it. You can post it all.
Without. In our one
That's okay. You can put yours up.
Will it need? Yeah, because we are in the same group.
yes in one group.
Today with the fish. You're all set. Oh, okay. To be brave to talk in front of the class.
and we want to know about the participatory.
Process of
Okay, similar to me.
Yes, for me, have the trainer if and I would like to know the tip or technique when we meet the problem during conduct training.
For me, like I would like to clear each step of each meaning of each step. There's every activity I think they have meaning. So like
เอาไปไหน
เห็นด้วยไหมอ่ะ
เขียนด้วย
ใส่ชื่อไปนะ
ไม่เอา
Right, let's put, can you come and look at each other's expectations, yeah? Come and see what people are putting. Mind you just spread them out. Let me take
you are training job and I'm deal with results.
Are all posted here? So we can see what are our expectations from this TOT. So there is an expectation of have fun and learn the techniques of being a good trainer. On the trainer's skills, training skills and techniques. Then to be a good trainer,
Speaking in front of audience can be
not so strong. Actually, the whole E-EAFM process.
not have entertainer skill.
Entertaining skill.
As you may see, in 2011, SEAFDEC has already organized a very important conference for 2020 we call Sustainable Fishery for Food Security toward 2020. And then we have organized a kind of work in related with E-EAFM. But when we ask for approval, we have to ask approval for the council member, which means SEAFDEC member country. In this presentation, we do not put the MFRDMD, please forgive. We have trainer, a part of the coastal and small scale. But he said that if he develop some media, develop some kind focused by donor, focused by Japanese, focused by SEAFDEC Sweden, that they are their own interest. Their own interest. If they interest in E-EAFM, yes, that's good. But if they do not disagree with E-EAFM, we cannot guarantee we can develop the activity among technical to support our trainer or instructor on fishery management, that we should develop the channel even in the same office.
Actually, my unit seat is not so big. My unit only have 5 members.
But I'm not directly involved. All the information from that to maybe the higher level, from them to hire or to engage with stakeholders.
I think you do point out internal. I think the 2 last bullets are internally, but if you are recognizing this, you have a chance to work on it internally to manage these hindrances or risks. And that's, I think, then you are in a good way. The first 2 ones can easily be addressed, I would say. Because, and I'm linking now this last slide to the first one you gave us, which is very helpful because you brought this all under the umbrella of the ASEAN SEAFDEC conference. So it's not so much to develop it, but to implement it or to use it in the different member countries. Maybe, and I hope this is the spirit of what you have said, rather than developing a curriculum. That's my question. Thank you very much.
And then came through and said how you're going to do it. I like Rudy, I don't quite understand the word develop EAFM in SEAFDEC member countries. I think we need to talk about that, and I think we can do that later. One gap I did see, and all of you have been asking all week, I want more videos, I want more visuals, I want more case studies, and I see a big role for SEAFDEC, especially media and information people, in bringing that material into this course in common to work together with, and I thought that was excellent. So no, it's all positive from me, but just I think we need to talk a little bit more in detail about how we do some of these things.
The other thing is with the visuals and the media, NOAA is also willing to work with SEAFDEC on that if SEAFDEC would like. And so we also have a graphics specialist in-house, and we can help the media and doing the video, and we can help provide input and provide some graphics. The other thing was on the hindrances. If there's a member country that is not interested in doing E-EAFM or has some concerns with it, there's a couple potential possibilities. I mean, you know, some of this depends on funding as well. One thing, or just needs to know what E-EAFM is. We're developing that toward a better curricula as well. So that might be one potential way to go.
So I think this is also, I would say application also comes also in Southeast Asian countries. So that's why SEAFDEC official in this case should also design what will be the EAFM courses.
When we did that last week, session number 2, a bit of PowerPoint and a bit of facilitation. Not all the slides, don't worry, we will give guidance. And also, the reason why we do this is that every time we practice, we want to see a couple of you, and we will talk to you who, deliver a bit of PowerPoint, how do you work with that, and facilitate a group activity. Yeah, that's the point. And remember what was happening here. Because we want you also to be thinking about those sessions, even though you are not doing them today.
This step involves 5 major steps of the E-EAFM process. So that's why today we will learn on the E-EAFM process overview. And after study, we expected that you will be able to describe the key steps of the E-EAFM process and how to implement the E-EAFM. And you can identify the planning steps. So for step 4, may I invite my beautiful colleague, please. Thank you, Miss Natana, you are beautiful also. Okay. After you got the EFM plan, you go to the step 4. Step 4 is implement the plan. This step we do EFM according to the plan. After then, we come to the step 5. The step 5 is monitoring, evaluate, and adapt. This step, we need to check the EFM plan, that the plan can achieve or not. That is all the 5 steps of EFM. For this, we come to the guideline to make, you can use this to make the EFM plan. This EFM plan should cover 11 issues such as vision, background, major threat and issues, and so on. Okay, for your better understand, please stand up and go to the back room. Okay, we will start to do some activity. So please the back, the back, please move the table.
No need microphone. Okay, so may I divide you by 5 groups. And the first, please someone who wear the glasses and watch come to wear glasses and
Eyeglass and watch only.
glasses and watch together.
You
Only
have no
glasses and
eyeglass.
watch. Men.
No watch.
And after that, okay, it's a good one. Yes. Those who have the black color shirt, please come to number 2. Blue.
Black color.
Blue color. Black color shirt.
Black shirt. Oh, shoes.
Yeah.
There is no black shirt.
Black color in the shirt. Black color in the And number 3, please, who wear the gym.
Jeans.
Resource person.
So everybody might know why we come here.
No.
You don't know? Oh, sorry that you missed this. Okay, I repeat again. Start up 1, we have 5 steps. Who know? No. Number 1.
Group academy is good.
Start up number 1. What's happened in this stage? You know?
We're defining our fisheries management unit.
Yes. E-EAFM plan. Yes. What about who is doing monitoring and evaluation? Number 5. Okay, excellent.
You forget number 2.
You have a time.
Who is top out?
Hello.
Good afternoon. Are you all right? Okay, very good. How about this one? What is the stakeholder who can tell me? That's correct. Last time you cannot answer my question. What is stakeholder mean?
Stakeholder is
Don't waste my time. Okay. Right, hardly right. Stakeholder mean there are some keywords. Individual or group or organization interest in effect in negative or positive to EAFM. Okay? Possible stakeholder, who you can be stakeholder. You can be stakeholder. I may be stakeholder. But for the EAFM plan, this group of people is stakeholder. If I divide into government, national, regional, local. I divide into compliance enforcement, Navy, Marine, Police, Patrol, or private sector stakeholder, fishery stakeholder, and support by support by NGO or academic. Okay, we have a new method to identify ID stakeholder. What we call Alif. You will teach us, right? Because you think you discover this method. Come. What we will do? When something when?
We mostly introduce about the.
Okay, I leave to you.
After we know who is stakeholder, we have the plan and we have a game to connecting about each element to element. After you know what is the E-EAFM, we already have 14 elements in here. I need 3 people in this group to put it by yourself, and you stand in the front of the class. Could you 3 persons? But I keep only one. It's special to bigger man in here. Who's the bigger man in here? Yeah. Please stay in the center. Bigger. Center. Put in your heart. I need 3 person each group. Please stand up and put by yourself. Okay? No. After you know and you read what's your element, you make arrange how you relate with other. If so far related, you make like this.
Okay.
It's okay, understand?
Yes.
Okay, doing by yourself.
Donor.
Maybe very far.
What about you, Mr. Rakara? Do you think you have a close relationship to EFM? Is it far? So you get the outer connection.
If you didn't related or so far related, you can put like this. But little bit related.
A little bit. Far from our next, right?
That's right.
What about you?
Yes.
You can check your friend is true or not. Position.
Okay.
Make sure your right position.
Yeah. Yes, I think so.
May I check? Is the mean in the center, right? Is bigger man. Can related with the dog, right? And with fisherman related or not related? Correct or not?
Maybe you
Yeah.
here.
Fisher. If not true, you can change position.
It's okay.
Will be related with the
Commercial. It's okay.
This association is okay related, but no so.
Close.
Okay, already? Okay. Thank you for your attention. And I think Mr. Sumitra.
Yes.
Miss Madam to make a conclusion.
I will present with the
Thank you.
So I would like to explain more this diagram is useful for discuss with the relationship as part of the institution analysis and have the two dimensions. Dimension one is will consider on side of cycle, like important. The second is dimension two is like proximity of cycle, like the frequency of the contact. More understand when you choose the stakeholder and how to like contact investor. Separate cycle with like no contact, like NGO, like no contact with relationship with institute. And touching cycle meaning information path between institutions, like only touching you understand all. Small overlap. About small overlap is some cooperation in decision making. And the overlap is small, and the last overlap is like the considerable cooperation in decision making. It's like the DOF and the like Fisher and the Fisher Association, like that. Yes. Indeed.
Thank you, Ms. Mitra. Okay, after all we did, we get then this is I try to take a conclusion about the starter part. It will be we have to identify which stakeholder that is. It can be individual, it can be a group, it can be an organization, and we have to focus whether they have an interest who can affect or not affected. Affect positively or negatively to our E-EAFM process. And then we've got to analyze the stakeholders, how to include them into the process, how to lobby, whether they are going to support us or not. And then the last, we've got to make a kind of diagram frame to show the relationship, whether they are close enough, not really close, or they are far away. Thank you.
What I'm going to present today is an E-EAFM overview. It's supposed to take 20 minutes, so when I start, can somebody please? That is now available on the SEAFDEC website, on the Bottom website, and it will soon be going on the NOAA website. However, we're working on version 3 now, so be careful. Version 1 is the one we took to the pilot, in Kinamaloo. We then modified it. Version 2 is the one we brought to you people, and we're modifying. Version 3 is coming soon, and version 3, as far as I'm concerned, is the final version. Learning by doing, adaptive approach, and a nice little picture. I think for the communities, there's certainly some material here, and SEAFDEC media people should talk to Bob and me, Rudy, and perhaps put that into something that you can all use when you go out into the field. If not, what do we need to do? I've made some assumptions. I'm assuming that these senior officials are familiar with fisheries and the environment and know some technical terms. And let's check that. It's written so anyone can present it. That means you. Okay? So it may have a few too many words, for a good PowerPoint. But that's to help you be able to present it in success. That was written initially by Simon from FAO and modified by Rudy and Derek. My NOAA colleagues at the back are now busy scribbling all over it and saying, no, that's terrible. And we'll put some input into it. Is there any chance for a bottle of water, please? A glass of water. Ecological well-being, human well-being through good governance. So what we're trying to achieve is to maximise the benefits the ecosystem can give us. In this diagram, there are some ecosystems. They contain animals, plants, habitats. They contain boats, fishermen. They have people on the shore doing aquaculture. They have towns, people sitting in restaurants, cooking at home. These are the benefits that this ecosystem will give to us, like food, shelter, protection.
This presentation looks deep into the scientific or management detail. It should put in the policy level, use their mandate or their policy to support EAFM. This is my comment.
Try to present this one. I will try to make it into two types of presentation. I will see the background of my SG or GSG with
Also the same as Hiba. This presentation like a deep explanation, but we can make it simple and point out what the OS should consider.
We also agree that perhaps if it can be a bit shorter, then it can be very nice. However, this is very clear presentation and very clear. And in order to apply the EAFM, in order to achieve to our organization part, so it might be all complicated.
คือบอกเขาว่าจะต้องเรียนรู้อะไรก่อนและหลังจากที่เราจะทำอันนี้นะหรือที่เราจะทำแบบชื่ออันนี้อธิบายอยู่กับคิดนะ
Before and after.
Yes, correct. Make your teaching meaningful. เหมือนว่าพูดกันสองคนก็คือI just thinking that I am even talking using session. This is a chatting.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. Yes. Then.
It means we take a break and then we discuss
Yes.
with him what is here.
Assistant.